Here we go.
Good seeing you, JT.
Yeah, here we go.
Yeah, I can't complain.
JT.
What do you normally do on Saturdays when you don't have to do stuff like this?
Get body work and chill. Get off my feet.
I think that's a good plan. Is that what you're doing after this?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Oh, yeah,
You're definitely going to need that. Okay, I guess it's me and you talking. So, read any good books lately? I know we talked about what you read during the off season. Do you have time to do that kind of work during the season, like the mindset work, or is it pretty much like recapping what you've done?
Yeah, I do some mindset work, but never anything to the extent of, reading a book, just because of how much, I do have to be at the facility and, have to put into what I'm doing right now. But obviously watch motivational videos, talk to people and, kind of just find different niches that I can find to, strengthen my mindset or, motivate me in a certain way. So obviously do that.
Now, here's what I wanted to ask you, which might relate to that and maybe not. But, you've had quite a trajectory coming in the way that you did and having to really earn your spot and your reputation. So if you had to talk to someone else who came into the league the way you did and had to put in a good amount of work in order to achieve their potential, what advice would you give them? And I don't mean the generic stuff like just keep working, you'll get there. I mean, like, is there anything that you did that you didn't think would be so important that you were like, wow, that really made a big difference, and I think someone else needs to hear this?
I got a couple things. After my rookie year, I went back home to South. Obviously, from there, went to the Senior Bowl. And I think just getting back in that setting where, I was that dude for 4 years. Everybody loved me down there. Obviously, everybody was, it was different because when I got down there, everybody was happy to see me. Everybody was talking about the league, whether, I did what the expectations were or not. Obviously, I had an impact on people's lives down there. And so it reminded me, who I really was. And then second thing, obviously, keep faith in God, which is first. But keep faith in God, keep working, man.
Powerful words right there.
Like I said, he put you in this platform, on this platform for a reason. He gave you the talent, ability for a reason. So you can do anything that you put your mind to, truly. And so that, and then obviously, like I said, just leaning. The third thing was big, was just leaning on the guys that are around me with Dak and obviously B. Cooks, MG, CeeDee, those guys. They've been successful in the league for a long time. Obviously came in from small school, kind of innocent, second person ever drafted. So I was innocent when I came in. And so to be able to learn the politics, the politics of the league, how to take care of your body, how to eat right, the work ethic part of it, not that I didn't have it, but just how to fine tune every part of it. All of that just played part into me just continuing to get better. And like I tell people all the time, like, I'm not even sure where my ceiling is. I didn't start playing football till late. I'm still learning it every single day. Like, I learned something new today. I learned something new tomorrow in the game, and just keep building on it. And like I say, I'm just looking forward to taking it where it can go.
Let me ask you this.
Wonderful answer.
You, because I hear the announcers all the time say that your father is a coach.
Mm-hmm.
So there's got to be pretty much two things in the household, the coach and your dad. So which one do you fear the most?
Definitely my dad. Definitely my dad. He's on me tough, but he made me the dude, the man I am today. And he coached while I was growing up, and then once I actually did start playing football, 11th grade of high school, he stopped coaching so he could come to my games and coaching. Like,
did he shy you away from football?
No, I mean, he always wanted me to play, but I was just a big baseball player, and so I was just in love with baseball. I kept playing, obviously. Had the opportunity to get drafted out of high school for that. Went to college to play both sports, and then ended up just choosing football the second time around. But I'm every single day, asked me about football, and I was like, nah, I want to go hit this baseball. I want to gotta hit this fastball, So, but no, he, like I said, that's probably my number one supporter with my mother, and he's with me, wrong or right. Teaches me still to this day, talks to me about any and everything about football that I can learn.
So I used to play softball, so I can relate to the love of baseball and softball are not exactly the same, but essentially they are. What skills would you say are transferable from baseball that you've taken into the NFL with you?
Honestly, ball tracking. I think that's how I can. I think that's a strength of mine, is just being able to attack the ball in the air, and I think that comes from me being in the outfield and having to read the ball off the bat. You take a step up and the ball going over your head. Right. You got to be able to, see the trajectory of it, and then honestly, I say too the quick mindset that you have to have. I took that from obviously in baseball. You might get 2 at bats a game, you might get 4. Yeah. You strike out both of them. You got to come back the next day and be ready to play. You can't think about what happened yesterday.
Short-term memory.
Yeah,
just like what happened last week. There was a short-term memory. You know what I mean? But you had to get back out there to catch the game-winning catch.
No, for sure.
Is this your coming out situation of being one of those star-studded players? Because I'm looking at the chat, they putting you Larry Fitzgerald vibes, man.
Wow.
That's high. That's
I love
high.
it. I love it.
That's
I
John
love it.
Legend high, man.
I love it.
Who are the players that you look up to outside of the ones that's on this team, like the CeeDee Lambs, etc.? Who are the guys?
I definitely have to say Julio. I was a big Julio fan. He's from Foley, Alabama. That's not too far. My dad coached against him, and I actually got to watch him in high school.
Okay.
And like I said, I kind of once I started playing, that was a guy that I really
I can see that.
watched. Just how he attacks the
definitely.
ball, strong hands.
Yeah.
Obviously, you gotta love Larry Fitzgerald, like they said. That's just a reliable, consistent guy that brings it every single day. And obviously, like I say, I'm with B Cooks, but I gotta mention it, man. Like I say, I learned I learned from him every day. He took me under his wing, work with him, work off of him, and so he challenges me to be the best version of myself every day, whether he's with the team right now or in the facility, whatever it is. Like I said, that's a guy that brings the best out of me and sees what I'm capable of. And for a guy like that to be able to be around people and play at a high level for so long, for him to see that in me, that brings confidence to me because he's not just saying that for a reason. He's been around the game for a long time and he's seen a lot. So I'm gonna keep working to get to where I need to go.
I love that. It seems like, well, I can tell you have a really great head on your shoulders with also, you seem really humble, but also knowing that you're that guy and what you're capable of. I love the fact that you're taking advantage of those leaders or those who have been in the league around you, and just kind of all taking that in and learning from it. Who would you say, well, you've already said Julio Jones. How do you feel about the end zone dance? Do you do any of those? Do you plan on incorporating any Julio? You weren't expecting to go there. Are you planning on incorporating any of that in your?
Yeah, I got me a couple dances in my mind.
Favorite dance? What's your go-to dance? Or will we have to see?
I'm gonna pop one out for you. But I got a couple ideas, and obviously, the touchdowns that I've had so far this year weren't really moments to kind of do that. So, I got some. I got some for you.
Can't wait to see that.
Well, personally, I want to say thank you because I have you in my starting lineup of my fantasy team. So I greatly appreciate you. You got me the dub this week, and I needed that. But no, it was great seeing you, be the unsung hero of the game, bringing it home for us. Even after that hour and a half delay starting the game, how does that affect y'all mentally and trying to stay loose and ready when you have such a delay like that?
Honestly, man, it's easier than you think it is just because we work hard all week for those moments. And so, we are in a delay, that's the time for us to kind of reset, maybe relook at the play calls, maybe rewatch some film, I know CeeDee was laying on the ground right next to me watching, point of attack DB tape. So, being able to, reset and kind of just go back over that. And obviously we're going to re-warm up. So go back out and re-warm up. I think that's one of the perks of being a pro and being a professional is that you can flip that switch and, hey, it's time to roll now, let's get it. Or, whatever it is. So it wasn't really as bad as it probably was on the outside, but we were ready. We were ready.
Now, you're getting a lot of love in the chat. There was a time, though, where that love was not so abundant. However, I follow quite a few people who love to talk about the fact that they believed in you ever since you were drafted, and they've been waiting for you to kind of have a moment like what you had in this last game. Does that kind of support and belief, does it stand out to you? Does it mean something to you? And is there anything that you want to say to those supporters who like to talk about your development as an athlete in that way?
I mean, all I can say is thank you. I appreciate y'all, sticking with me, being there from day one. I got a lot more coming, so I appreciate it. Looking forward to continuing to make y'all happy. Obviously, make my teammates happy. Obviously, God as well. And so, like I said, I appreciate y'all. Appreciate the love and support. We're going to keep it going.
Real quick 2-part question. I asked this to Cooper and Sam Williams. They saying tomorrow y'all wearing the Navies. What's your favorite uniform combination y'all got?
I don't know. The Navy's cold-blooded. I like the Navies.
Yeah, that's my favorite, personally.
Yeah, I like the Navies.
Cooper said, I think Sam said the all-whites. That was his
all
favorite.
White spot
Cooper
too,
did not like the all-white.
He does not like the all-white.
I like that. I like the Navy, though. The Navy cold-blooded.
And the follow-up on that, I don't know if you ever answered this anywhere else. Last year you were 18. You switched to number 1. Why'd you switch from 18 to 1? Was there just a significance behind it, or you just think 1 is cold?
Nah, I kind of got a two-part to that. Obviously, I was a single digit in college, and when I first got here, obviously 1 wasn't open. So they told me once 1 came open that they give it to me. And so I actually at first didn't want one. I wanted 2, or obviously couldn't get 8, but wanted 2 because I wore 2 a little bit in college as well.
Mm-hmm.
And when one came open, something just kept telling me like, take one, just because, having those small moments to be able to look down at my chest and remind myself, be one of one, be 1% better today. You're here for a reason, challenge yourself to be the one. And so, why not me? Have that mindset where it's like, why not me to make that last touchdown catch? Why not me to go out here and change the game? So something kept telling me to get that one. And like I said, I'm not turning back with it. I love it.
Man,
So building off of the momentum from being like the unsung hero of, excuse me, last game, how do you go into the next game preparing and building off of that, but also not just thinking too far ahead? Like, how do you prepare for that next moment and getting that next opportunity?
Honestly, I think it's easy, at least for me, just because, the same way that I made that play, this week it might not be that way if I don't work for it. And so obviously last week was last week and it's over. So this week is new challenges, new things right in front of me that I have to, go out and attack and go get. So, go into practice with that neutral mindset. Obviously last week was last week, proud of last week, but now I got to go be proud of this week. And
build off of that, yeah.
Just find a way to be consistent. I always tell myself, I write little notes in my notebook, like double down or consistency, times 3, whatever it is. Like, even in training camp, I have 2-3 good practices in a row. That 4th one may be good, right? Times 4. If it's not, reset, refocus, kind of stay rooted in where I'm at and, start up another streak. So, like I said, obviously off of last week, on to this week, just, looking forward to going out with the opportunities I'm given and go make plays.
I love that. It seems like you're never really complacent, which is a good place to be, especially as a ball player in this position for this team. And just having those mental notes, always do better, always try to push yourself. So I really love that.
Oh, yeah, for sure. The same way you got it, the same way it can be taken, man.
For sure.
Yes.
You can't get too high, get too low.
I know your time is valuable, so we're probably gonna wrap up here in just a second. But you heard the expression "iron sharpens iron," right?
Yep.
Going up in practice against Deron Bland, Diggs, and we saw the dog. Everybody's seeing the dog now with J. Lou. I know a lot of people have been seeing it before, but now he really got highlighted after this game. What is it like against those guys, especially Jordan Lewis, that toughness from years prior? We saw him getting into it with Dez. He don't care. He's like, I'm not going back down. So what is that? How does that help you when you have a mentality with a player like that you're going against every day in practice?
Honestly, like you just said, you got to challenge yourself to show up every play. You can't take a play off. Whether I'm going to the slot, that's J. Lou's lane, in the slot. So you go down there in his lane, you got to be ready. And then you go outside, you got DB, you got Diggs. Even last year with Gilly, a smart player, Hall of Famer. So, going against him every day and, you can't run a route the same way every time because Gilly's going to pick it. He's going to sit on it. And so just being able to learn, like I say, you go out there, you learn every single day, and then those guys, the good thing about all of those guys you just named is that they're selfless. So like I can go talk to them after a play and be like, hey, what did you see? What triggered you to sit on my route? What triggered you to not sit on this route? Just kind of figure out what I did. And, they're all there to help you and help themselves. And they obviously will take feedback as well. Like, hey, I stemmed you this way just so I could do this or whatever. And so having teammates like that is special. And like I say, love going against those guys every single day. And they've also helped, sharpen me to be the player that I am today.
I have one more question. Is it okay if I ask you about one of your teammates?
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure it's okay because you mentioned CeeDee Lamb a second ago and how he's one of the people who's helped you develop into the receiver that you're becoming. But he's gotten a lot of press that kind of paints him in a kind of weird light. So I was wondering, like, if you had to describe CeeDee Lamb in one sentence, how would you describe the real CeeDee Lamb?
It's a lot of words you could use for CeeDee, man, but and they're all positive. That's the thing. It's like all this negative feed that you see on it or people talk about. CeeDee is awesome. He's probably one of the most humble people that I've been around. If I need something body work wise, hey, I'm going to his house. He invites me to come to his house. It's the little things that people don't see. Whether it's, hey, like I'm about to go get extra work this week. I'm going out. Obviously, we don't record everything we do. It's not for everybody. It's for us, and it's for us to get better. And so having a teammate like that, that carries himself with the aura that CeeDee does, is special. And like I said, we as a wide receiver room learn from him every single day. And the talks that we have in the room, between the room, on the field, like I say, people will never know that. They just see what they want to see and kind of hear what they want to hear. But CeeDee is awesome. Like I say, a hell of a teammate. Love working beside him, with him, and off him. He challenges me to be, the best receiver, best player that I can be too. Every time I step out on the field.
I will say the few times that I've talked to him about the wide receiver room as a whole, well, the first time at least, I was really surprised. Not that I didn't expect it from him, but the extent to which he showed a lot of love for you guys. Like he really, really wants the best for you guys, and I think that's the part that a lot of people don't see.
Yeah.
Like he loves y'all to death. He really does. So I appreciate you for mentioning that. Do we have anything else, or do we want to get him out of here before this tent falls? It's not going to fall, y'all. It's weighted down. I'm joking.
No, you guys are going to get some great receivers. Amon-Ra St. Brown, specifically.
They're great receivers. Excuse you.
They're great
Go ahead.
receivers.
Wait, real quick. How much time do you have left?
We want to host, man. Here, you gotta get ready. You gotta get ready for tomorrow, man. We can't have it for all day though. But no, what do you think about some of those receivers they have over there in Detroit?
They're special playmakers. Obviously, with 14, he's a crazy playmaker. Every time you get the ball in his hands, and J-Mo, man, you got to watch him. He's smoky, so he can get out on you at any time. But like I said, I think games like that always, even in college, they challenge you to try to be the best wide receiver group on the field, and so that's the mentality that we're going to go onto the field with. And everybody talks about them. We want everybody to talk about us by the time of the game is over. So. Just how that mentality. Like I said, they're great players, but we're gonna challenge them.
I love it.
Last question: who's your favorite person to go up against at practice?
I was going to ask that early.
Without any bias, I'm sure he loves getting those reps in, as you mentioned earlier, with all of your players. But who is someone you're like, I absolutely have to get these reps in with him?
Diggs, I love Diggs, man. Because one thing about it, he gonna play you how he should, and then he gonna come out there and do something that he's not supposed to be doing, and you're gonna be like, "What are you doing?" Like, and just the way he carries himself as well. The aura that he has, the swag he has while he plays. The way he runs his mouth.
Yeah,
it brings the best out of you. So I love going against Seven, man. It's good to have him back out there with us.
And you need that because I imagine you're going up against all type of players all of the time. So you have to be ready physically and mentally. So if you've never faced any of that, you wouldn't know how to go into a game and go against it.
I got to tell you, a matchup I'm really looking forward to is Amon-Ra St. Brown versus J. Lou. Because we all saw that viral clip. He's like, yeah, man, he said such and such on the Cowboys. We're talking mad junk. He's like, I can't wait to see them match up again.
Oh, yeah, I love J. Lou, though. I love J. Lou.
A lot of the defensive players said that his attitude is becoming a little bit contagious among other members of the defense. Is there anybody on the offensive side of the ball that you feel like that's kind of happening with?
Honestly, Dak, man. I don't think he gets enough credit for what he does for us. Special leader, special quarterback, special person. And so for him to, be as caring as he is off the field and then be as caring as he is on the field is special. And he brings the best out of everybody, not only on the offensive side of the ball, but defensive and special teams. So having a guy like that, gets in the huddle, and if he doesn't feel the vibe is right or, the speed is right at practice or walk through, he's doing this, come on, let's get it, bringing people along. So having a guy like that obviously is leading your team, you got to follow the lead. You got to.
And I see that a lot. And I hear that a lot of the players say that Dak is a big leader. And I know that's important for the quarterback. But for you as a wide receiver, how important is it to have like a leader as Dak? And what is something that he does that just really pushes you if you're in a down spot in a game?
Honestly, man, he just, we do our handshake and it kind of, like I said, resets me every time before the game starts. We do it. I go up to him after the national anthem. Because he was there, my rookie year. Like I told her, he bought me a book, Relentless by Tim Grover. I read it and annotated in it and, took notes and just had little things. He was like, I want you to read this. And there's little things that, correlated to my situation at the time that I could highlight or, work off of to kind of just, challenge myself to get from where I was mentally and just, challenge myself to go back to the guy that I was. And having Dak out there, obviously, as a quarterback, but also as a big brother and as a mentor, is special. And like I tell him all the time, like I'm with you, bro. I'm with you, big bro. I got you. Appreciate you standing up on the table for me. Appreciate you trusting me, and like I'm gonna do whatever you need me to do, be wherever you need me to be. And so, like I said, I'm just continuing to build that relationship, chemistry, brotherhood with him, and it's special playing with him.
Good job, and we see that on the field. It's transferring. Like when we know it's behind the scenes, it's a lot of work, but when we see it on the field too. It's like, okay, this is what's happening behind this.
Yeah, no, for sure.
I really like your story just because I feel like there are so many people who, the society in general, we tend to focus on like the instant stars, right? And there are so many people who do have to work at what they do, and it does take a little bit of time, or their path might not go the way that they planned it. And I feel like it's so important to have people who can inspire those people to say like, hey, if you are diligent, if you are willing to keep working and keep learning and surround yourself with the right people, like things can actually change. Like you can improve your station. So I really appreciate how responsible you've been with your energy.
I appreciate it. Like I said, I try to help anybody and everybody I can. Obviously, like I say, I talk to Flo every single day, man. I just told him today, like, keep working, man. Like, it's gonna pay off for you. Like, I see what people saw in me. You know, like that's a guy that works hard, comes every single day, works hard. You know, may have struggled at first, but you know, he's coming into his own every single day. You know, he does something at practice that just opens your eyes even bigger. And like I said, I look forward to him getting you know, his opportunities as well. So just whatever I can do to you know, help people not, you know, kind of go through what I went through, I got them. So like I said, whether this is these guys in college, when I go back to South Alabama, I tell them, you know, what I wish I was told and what I was told, you know, once I got here, and you know, maybe just help them out, help their path out a little bit. But it's always a blessing to be a blessing. So gotta do what I gotta do.
Well, we thank you for your time. I know you gotta get ready for the game. Get prepped for that.
Get ready for this W.
Get ready for hit that dub. We gonna eat a dub. We gonna eat a dub. Not really.
Please.
One last thing for real. What we saying we got here?